everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna, this is Coffee, Books, and Bullet Journals, and today we're going to do a little Preptober work. Alright, so I have a couple of things that I want to show you today. This is going to be my second time participating in NaNoWriMo, so I have a little bit of resources that I want to talk to you about. I created a author's bullet journal in 2017, so this was my NaNoWriMo journal. There's some things in here that are specific to the project I was working on in 2017. However, I tried to do a lot of like references and things like that, so I'm going to just show you a couple of things, couple of ways that you can use a bullet journal during NaNoWriMo, whether or not you put these just in your normal bullet journal pages, or if you're like me and you make a separate book for them. The other thing I want to do today is I want to talk about the 2019 Preptober workbook. This is created by Natalia Lee, who is an authortuber. I will link her channel down below. She is an amazing human being, and she created this Preptober workbook, which I have been playing around in, doing some things in, and I've been loving. Some of the things I haven't quite, there's some things I haven't even like gotten to yet, but so far I've been loving it. And so I'm going to talk about one of the things specifically, and that is creating a writing routine, which is one of the pages in the like activity sheets. But I'm going to show you the bullet journal first, and then we will do the writing routine second. All right, so this was created back in 2017, so there's some things that obviously like don't make sense anymore. But I just wanted to show you a couple of things that I did. The first thing was this Preptober checklist. This is really important to, if you're doing any type of Preptober, any type of prep work, this is a really good way to kind of get yourself set up. I have a new one for this year. Let me show you really fast. So this year, I'm doing it in my digital bullet journal, but it kind of has a lot of the same things. There's a few other things in here, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same. But I wanted to make sure that I was doing, that I was prepping the right things, doing the right things for prepping. This was just my synopsis, basically my elevator pitch. You have like a couple of sentences to talk about your book. One of the important things is creating a calendar, which is something that we're actually going to talk about in the new worksheet, or in the new workbook. So for this, in 2017, I did a October and November because I wanted to have like any type of trips that I was doing in October, and then in November, I highlighted days that I was off. So for Thanksgiving, apparently I had a little vacation there. Like I said, it was a couple years ago. All right, one of the things that I hate doing when writing is coming up with names. I hate it. It literally will like get me stuck for a minute if I can't come up with just the right name. So one of the things that I did during Preptober that year was create a whole big long list of names, both first and last names. Because I was writing a sci-fi, I also did alien names. Obviously, if you're not writing aliens, you don't need that. But maybe you want wizard names or elf names, fairy names, whatever. You can use, you can replace that. This was always really fun to work in throughout Nano. So you have your your goal basically every single day, which is 1,667 words every single day, which ends up becoming a straight line. And then you fill in what you actually did. Yes, I did win NaNoWriMo in 2017. The other thing is that you can just write down your numbers. So what you wrote for each day, and then the total number. This was just a little thing for me. Either I didn't write that day, I met my goal, so I wrote the 1667. I was below my goal, so didn't quite reach that, or above my goal, meaning I wrote more than the 1667. And this is what I was talking about with saying that I was doing more reference stuff. So talking about growth arcs. There we go. Talking about character development, things like this. Some elements to brainstorm for characters. I love taking the Myers-Briggs personality test for my characters. So this kind of gives you a little bit more. So if you take the test based on your character, what they would answer, and then you can kind of get a little bit more of like some character details, some, you know, what they would think, what they would do based on their Myers-Briggs personality. This is a reference guide talking about minor characters. I pulled a lot of this off of Pinterest, and I'll link the Pinterest board that I have. I just wanted them more in like a hard copy place, which is why I pretty much copy and pasted some stuff into my bullet journal. But like I said, I will link the Pinterest board that I got a lot of this off of. Same thing here. This is 8 laws of foreshadowing, dialogue errors, word crawls were some of my favorite things to do during NaNoWriMo. There's things that are themed, so like this one was a Pokemon. There's a Harry Potter one. I'm definitely going to be researching some for this Nano. But it's kind of like a word sprint, but it's also like games, and it's like a quest kind of. So you have a 10-minute free write, and then you see how many words you could write in 10 words. And then this is a 10-minute word war. So get to 350 words or try again. So if you didn't get to 350, you do it again. Work on a difficult scene for 10 minutes. 200 word sprint. Sprint 100 times the Pokedex, because it's was Pokemon, so you have to sprint to get 500 words. Sprint to the nearest 100. So I was at 35,153, so I got to 211. Sprint to the nearest 1,000. So as you can see, I got from 25,611 words to 36,021 words, which is the last thing that I wrote down. Might have gone farther, but that's, you know, and this would have been in like, you know, an hour or whatever. So if you're in a slump, I think I was like mid-month, I was really freaking out and, you know, needing a little bit of extra energy. So these word crawls are really fun. The last thing in here is just creating a fictional character. And that is, again, it's kind of the same thing, but in more of a visual thing, trying to figure out their personal things, their personality, physical, their basic things, and then their psychological things as well. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of ideas for things that you can do in your bullet journal. Now let's talk about developing a writing routine. So this Preptober workbook is amazing, and if you are interested in it, like I said, I'll put Natalia's YouTube page down there as well. This is completely donation based, so you donate to her publishing company and you get this. And it's so much fun. There's a lot of things. It's like a live stream calendar. I love doing write-in live streams, so I'm going to be doing some research and seeing when we have some live streams that I can participate in. Here we go. This is what I wanted to talk about. So developing a writing routine, there's a lot of questions on there, and this is a general thing. It's not just for Nano, but I'm going to be answering these questions specifically for Nano. So how many days a week do we want to write? Obviously for Nano, we want to write 7 days. Why is this not working? Okay. So obviously for Nano, we want to be writing 7 days a week. If you take off, then you have to work, you know, extra hard the next day. All right, so the next question is, are you a morning or a night writer? I would love to be a morning writer. I would love to try to get up an hour earlier or whatever. However, as I'm kind of doing my outlining and doing some of the prep work, I'm noticing that I am not functional enough that early in the morning, especially like right now I'm on vacation. I definitely won't be able to function if I have to get up and go to work. November is not a time that I like to get up early. It is cold. I don't want to get out of bed. Especially not like an hour earlier just to sit down and write. My brain just is not creative at that point. However, I think that I can do it at night. So I'm going to say that I'm a night writer. Okay, what time do I wake up and go to bed? Generally, I go to bed around between 10 to 11 p.m. and I get up between, like, the days are so different, but generally it's between 6 and 7 a.m. How many days a week are you busy with work and other commitments? I have 5 work days. And then generally we have dinner with family on Sunday night. I'm realizing that this might be way too bright, so I'm going to try to dim it a little bit so that you can see it on the screen. Hopefully that works. If not, we'll have to do some fun stuff in editing. The next question is, how much free time do you have? So like I said, I usually get home between 5 and 6 at night, and then I go to bed between 10 and 11, so like that's 6 hours. Sometimes during the middle of the day I do a lunch break. So let's just say we have 6 hours a night on a weekday. That's not what I said. And then weekends are like 90% free. All right, what hours of the day are you usually free? Evenings, and then weekend days. Which of those free hours can you dedicate to writing? I definitely think I can, I think I could probably say 3 hours a night for writing. My weekends, I usually do have to spend a couple of hours filming stuff for the next week. I am not planning, I'm not going to do daily videos in November, but I'm still planning on doing at least 1 to 2 videos a week. So I can't skimp on that just because I'm doing NaNoWriMo. Okay, and then this I've created as a calendar for November of 2019. Once November is over, if I want to continue reading this, using this, because this is an iPad, I can literally go in and erase it if I wanted, which is kind of cool. So let's talk about this. I'm gonna highlight. I'm gonna take a highlighter and what am I trying to do? There we go. I'm gonna take a highlighter and pick which days that I know that I'm gonna be off work. So I'm generally don't work weekends. It's a weird day if I work a weekend. So we're gonna make sure that we highlight all of this. I'll go in and make this prettier later. Oh, well that did something funky. Sometimes GoodNotes does things funny. Oh my goodness, stop doing that. Okay, we're gonna figure this out. Alright, I outsmarted it. Okay, and then the same thing for Sunday. I don't work on Sundays. Oh my goodness, it's doing the same thing again. Okay, and then obviously the 28th is Thanksgiving, so I'm going to be off that day. Now, I have family stuff going on at some point, I'm assuming. So we'll have to make sure I get writing done either early or late that day. And then I'm off Black Friday as well. Other than that, I am working the rest of those days, which is a little bit unfortunate. However, I don't think I have any trips going on because I'm trying to get all of them out of the way in October, which is a good thing. So I'm traveling 3 or 4 times in the month of October, but I'm really hoping that I don't have to do any traveling in the month of November. That's the plan, because if I could stay home, that's much better. So, going back to this is a pretty, I don't want to fill this out completely, but let's just say like Mondays through Fridays are going to be evening writing on the days that I work. And then these can literally be like any time of the day. And then Sundays would have to be more morning writing because I do dinner in the evenings. So anyways, I hope that you kind of got a little bit out of that. Like I said, if you are interested in this Preptober workbook, there's so much involved in it, and I love this so much. But I will link Natalia's website or her YouTube page down below, and then you can get all that information. Thank you all for sticking with this. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button that you can do so down below the video. And all of the links to my other social medias will be in the description below if you would like to be my friend on any other platform. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Happy Preptober!
What makes this heart beat faster?